% chance for some showers and thunderstorms tonight. Low around 62. Tomorrow, another chance for showers and thunderstorms, about a 60% chance, high of 77. That chance for showers continues Tuesday night, low down to 57. Partly sunny, mainly on Wednesday. Little chance for some showers in the afternoon. And cooling down, I believe, too. Let's see, what is the high on Wednesday? Does not say here, but I think it's in the 60s. Here we go. Steady temperature around 60 degrees on Wednesday, down to 45 Wednesday night, and a high of only 64 on Thursday. Right now, it's partly cloudy, 78 at News Talk 830 WCCO.
It's like nothing happened.
We did it.
Excellent.
Yes.
In your on-air file, I actually cut a short version of Sarah to play during the lead.
You put it in my folder?
It's in the on-air folder. It's an MP3 this time, so you wouldn't be.
It's all good. This one? Okay,
yeah.
I got it.
All right, happy Labor Day. It's nice to be with you. I hope you're barbecuing. I feel like that's the required Labor Day festivity. Welcome to Drive Time. Laura keeping you up to date on the news. Henry Lake is coming up in just a little bit. Dan is off today. Lindsay is here.
You can tell.
We're in great hands.
I'm just glad we didn't get too far off the rails.
Sometimes the computer has to reboot. You know me, I like to cover up mistakes. Chad likes to point them out.
Yeah, so I'm glad I'm making them right now versus, say, 2.5 hours in the past. It would have been a different.
We both have a different vibe with that.
Yes.
My vibe is like, people should assume we have 47 people in this room.
Right.
This is such a big time radio station. Like, what could possibly go wrong? If you hear anything that's unusual, that was the plan.
If you thought that I was going to turn off the wrong computer trying to help Laura turn hers on, you would be right for your drive time trivia today. As Chad would say, you blew it.
It is difficult to know which computer box belongs to which computer.
No label.
Nothing is labeled in there. Makes no
Brett,
sense.
Michelle,
How about
you guys aren't doing anything.
Do we have a label maker?
We got to have something. There was labels on the board down at the state fair, and that thing was dodging the draft for nom too.
All right, let's do the lead. You have
Oh yeah.
song for that?
The headlines you might have missed without missing a beat. This is your fast pass through the biggest and most impactful stories of the day. Welcome to the DeRusha Hour headlines, starting with the lead.
The one kid, Weston, who became the face of this shooting, that 10-year-old who shared his bravery, shared about his friend, Victor, who shielded him from all of the gunfire. And Weston was so poised, and we looked at him and thought, my gosh, like how, what he's gone through, the fact that with his parents' permission, he was able to share his story. Well, now we have learned through a GoFundMe posted by his aunt that Weston will need surgery to remove a bullet fragment that is lodged in his neck. It is, according to his aunt, dangerously close to his carotid artery. Those stories are starting to emerge as well. Stories of kids who have uncertain medical journeys, like Genevieve Bisick, who was shot in the neck. She is in satisfactory condition at HCMC, but we don't know how long that will go. The other girl that we are still waiting to learn more about on Friday, Sophia Forchas, was in critical condition. She was the one who was taken to hospital where her mother is a pediatric critical care nurse who was reporting to work in response to a shooting, to only find out that her daughter was one of the victims, 7th grade girl. We also this weekend learned a little bit more in the New York Times about what may have, maybe we learned that we'll never learn exactly what motivated the Minneapolis school shooter. The story of the New York Times and really went into strong and deep detail about warning signs, about the anger in some of these online posting, so much grievance by this young person. Law enforcement only saying that the attacker had come to idolize mass shooters, especially mass shooters who had killed children. We always try to put our own logic and try to analyze and figure out, like, oh, well, where did this person go wrong? Where were they radicalized? Where was the warning sign? Where was a parent saying, hey, you need help? But the reality is it's going to take months. It's going to take months. And this was I think the hardest thing is people often don't want to just say this was an evil person who did an evil act. And we will never understand what would motivate this type of action because there's no logic to it. There were many, many ways that this could have gone differently. One expert in the New York Times said the answer to why is because he could. And we will hear more conversation about guns, gun laws, security at schools, all of those things will be a conversation when so many Minnesotans send their kids off to a place where they should be safe, to schools. In that community, there's been an amazing outpouring of love and support through blue and green ribbons cut out of tablecloth. Sarah Henning is one of the community volunteers, a bunch of volunteers who've stepped up, and you may see these ribbons off of like snow emergency signs or other public signs all throughout the state. Sarah and I talked last hour, and I asked her how she's feeling in response to the incredible outpouring of support.
We are feeling overwhelmed in the best possible way. I think that it's what we knew would happen with our Minneapolis neighbors and Minnesotans, really. And it's just, I think, to an overwhelming degree. And actually, beyond Minnesota, we've had people donate for supplies even beyond Minnesota at this point, and more requests coming in from all around the country. I think the most overwhelming part is also the outpouring of love we're getting back from Annunciation families and teachers and their neighbors, because we have been prioritizing getting ribbons up in their neighborhoods. And
so they've been reaching out, asking to have ribbons in front of their house or in front of their block.
Yeah, we started the project really focused on the street that runs in front of the church and the school, and then running out from there in some of the main thoroughways where we know kind of lead into the school from a traffic pattern, and then started intaking requests from people, because obviously for privacy reasons and everything that the families are going through, right, and teachers are going through right now, we don't want to ask for that information, but started taking requests and then working with people who know some of the families to say, hey, can you get us the block they live on, right? And so got that information, and then we're working to try and get them in their blocks, and those continue to come in, and have now expanded even to parents and grandparents. Our team has traveled to Prior Lake and Rosemont.
Wow.
We're trying to get wherever we can.
I don't know if you came up with the name or who did, for Avenue of Angels in front of the church and school. It is just
Mhm.
moving. I was in a totally different part of Minneapolis today and saw some of these ribbons up, and it feels like our way of kind of giving everybody a hug, you know?
Yeah, I think that, when this stuff happens, unfortunately, because it happens too often, right? Like once is too many times, and this has now happened too often, but it's in our backyard this time. I think it hits everybody because even if it's not your kid or your, parent that's a teacher, an educator, or in this case, parishioner in that church, you can imagine it being your kid or yourself, like I think it touches everybody in that regard. And so, I tend to be a realist, but also an optimist. And I believe that people really want to find ways to connect with each other and build community and share love more than they want to really focus on negative things.
Right.
And so I think when people don't know what to do in big tragedy like this, we'll do anything to ease the pain of others and to connect to community because we want to feel connected.
That's Sarah Henning. Within the last half hour, they bought a website, so they're going to put information out there. And that website is bowsoflove.com. But when you see those blue and green ribbons, which I've been sharing if you're watching on the live stream on YouTube at WCCO Radio or on Facebook at WCCO Radio. That is the DeRusha Hour News headlines, the lead. Let's break. When we come back, page 2. Lots of good stuff in page 2 today, including an 11-year-old St. Paul girl who spent her summer tackling an epic mountain trail bike ride. That story when we come back.
Professional turf.
Jason here with a little bit of news that surprised me. I did not realize that the fall is such a great time to go fix up your landscape. Do you think about fall as the time of year to plant trees or plant perennials or plant shrubs? Probably not. A lot of us think about the spring, but this is a pro tip from Pro Turf. Pro Turf was out of my house. They take care of my yard. And they were telling me, they're like, no, Jason, like the fall is go time because the soil is cooler. You don't have any risk of like those roots burning out. It's much easier to get water to the root ball, which, by the way, root ball was the name of my high school band. Did you know that? Root ball.
Did not.
Yeah, a lot of people don't know that. Pro Turf will totally make over your landscape, or they'll just do yank out some crappy old plants and put in some new stuff. They're really built to handle whatever it is you need. They have certified landscape designers. And as part of any project, when you buy it, they give you the design and they give you a digital image of what it's going to look like before it's done, which I think is so cool. Right now, to sweeten the deal, because Pro Turf can get this done before the season ends. Don't worry about it. They're throwing in a free treat, 6-foot Colorado spruce or 2-inch sugar maple tree. I love a sugar maple, especially in the fall. That thing bursts. The color is so good. It's worth $650. You spent $4,000. They're throwing that in just for CCO listeners. So, Professional Turf. You don't want to call today. No, Labor Day. The website's open. Go to professionalturf.com. Fill out the free estimate request. Pro Turf takes care of my yard. They're family owned right here in Minnesota since 1982. Looks like I just sort of stopped writing the DeRusha Hour today.
It's okay. You just do the 2 and then see where it goes.
I'm going to do the 2, and then I'm going to do the state fair. There's not a lot of great stuff in the...
No.
77.
All right, happy late. DeRusha Hour News headlines on this Labor Day. We start with the Pioneer Press, where one of the biggest names in the Somali community here in Minnesota has been detained by ICE. Omar Jamal. He's a Minneapolis guy. He's lived here for, oh man, Omar Jamal has lived here for 20 years or so. He is a frequent commentator. You see him on TV a lot, radio as well. I've interviewed him a ton of time in my time here in the Twin Cities. Omar Jamal was detained Friday in downtown Minneapolis and brought to the Freeborn County Adult Detention Center in Albert Lea, and that is where ICE is keeping people who are on immigration holds right now. Omar Jamal also is a civilian officer in the Ramsey County Sheriff Department. And Steve Linders, the spokesman, said, Jamal's played an integral role in helping us liaison with the Somali community in Minnesota. He's done a great job in that role. He spent decades advocating for public safety, interfaith cooperation, and stronger relationships between law enforcement and the immigrant community. But now he's locked up. Jamal's attorney said that a judge previously granted him protection against deportation. The judge found that he would face persecution if returned to Somalia. And so he was granted protection, but we don't know. Why is he in ICE custody? We will try to find out. How did you spend your summer? An 11-year-old St. Paul girl tackled an epic mountain bike trail on the Continental Divide. Gone to the fair or hung out with buddies, and instead 11-year-old Molly Ayler rode her mountain bike nearly 2,500 miles up, down, and through the mountainous backcountry of the western United States. I tell you, part of my reaction to stories like this is like, is this kid okay? Like at age 11, like that is as hardcore as anything, right?
Keyword sensory seeking.
Right. But then I think, like, how cool that Molly does this with her dad, Aaron. They started with a Tour Divide race. So it's the mountain bike route from the Canadian Rockies to New Mexico. So they were racing at first, but then they had a major wheel malfunction. So they had to change themselves to tourers, but crazy. They rode 2,500 miles over 45 days.
Oh my God. So much exercise.
They climbed more than 145,000 feet.
Oh.
Going from Canada through Montana, Idaho, Wyoming, Colorado, and New Mexico.
So much uphill.
Pretty cool. They did a multi-day ride last summer in the Black Hills. They spoke with a pediatrician. Like, is she going to be okay?
Well, that's probably a good thing to clear.
Yeah. She likes bacon, she said.
Girl.
Yeah.
She got her priorities straight, though.
You need that protein. I know. She'll have great stories.
Yeah.
And her college entrance essay is going to be undefeated, right?
Not to mention the icebreakers when you actually get to orientation week. 2 truths and a lie.
Pretty good. In a minute, Dave Schwartz will join us. We'll talk about the Twins. We'll talk about the Vikings. But the big headline is some breaking news that I saw from Dave posted on X earlier today. He has news from the world of sport from Dave Schwartz in just a minute here on CC.
Tareen.
are we doing? here?
Tareen.
Who?
Tareen.
Yeah, let's talk about my dermatologist. Not just his wife. What the heck? I'll tell you a little story about Dr. Tareen. But I'm telling you a story about Dr. Tareen because A, she is the best. B, especially this time of year where kids are getting ready to go back to school. You know how those kids get a little more sensitive when acne pops up. So it's Jason here for Tareen Dermatology. I took both of my kids to Tareen. She put them on a program that cleaned up their acne like that. It was awesome. And, you know, there's so many things out there where you're like, is this trustworthy? Is this safe? Do I want? Never have to worry about that with Tareen Dermatology. I go there. My wife goes there. My in-laws go there. And dozens of CCO radio listeners have joined the Tareen team because the entry point is so simple. 9 locations and a guarantee. The guarantee is that you can get an appointment within 3 weeks. That is unheard of in dermatology, where often it can take you 3 months, if you're lucky, to get an appointment. They'll see you within 3 weeks. I go to Roseville, maybe Hudson, Lakeville. If you're looking for a dermatology, I recommend it. TareenDermatology.com. Look who's here. Look who's here. It's Dave Schwartz on my video stream.
Hello, Dave. How are you? I'm good. Hope you're having a relaxing Labor Day. Oh, that's great. That's great. Happy to hear that. We're happy to see you on the video. I was gonna make a joke about krill, but I know that things are sensitive right now, and so I decided against it. Don't want to. Yeah, I know it's coming. It's coming. Just have faith, right? Yeah, absolutely. All right. Well, you know what to do. We'll have your open here playing in about a minute and a half. So just look into the computer screen and don't blink. Stay right there.
Sounds good.
DeRusha, our news headlines on this Labor Day.
At this point, I think people might have more faith in the people that manage their sports teams than their politicians. So we need Billy to remain steadfast. It's got to happen. Because if Krill leaves, I don't think this town will ever recover. It's over. It is truly over. I'll have to move again. Another hockey team on the rise.
Coco Gauff destroyed Osaka.
No, other way around.
Oh, Osaka
correct.
destroyed Gauff.
Correct. It was kind of surprising. I was watching it. I'm glad though. Like I get worried that Osaka, like, I'm not saying mothers
commercial's
can't
funny.
win, but when she got pregnant at the time that she did, it can really push you off course.
There we go. Mhm. Well, I'm not exactly. I just realized I'm not really dressed up for you, so I apologize. I'm wearing a t-shirt and a hat. You know, it's the holiday. I appreciate that. Thank you. We slept in and then went to our favorite breakfast place this morning, the Original Pancake House, which we love. Just outstanding breakfast. And then we did some fishing. Well, let's see. My son finished off an entire stack of pancakes plus some extras because he's 15. And then I think everyone does pancakes. I just did ham and eggs. I'm a simple guy. I'm not a pancake guy, but their stuff's great. Yeah. Ooh. Okay. My biggest problem with pancakes is you almost have to take a nap afterwards. I mean, there's just no way that you can finish off a stack of pancakes and not want to just go to sleep. Yeah. I'm not a pancake guy either. Just plain butter, nothing else, or you just eat them plain? No syrup, nothing? That's out there. It's a hot take. That's a hot take on hotcakes is what it is. Mm-hmm. Mm. No, of course not. You're high quality there. Really? Mm-hmm. Yeah. Oh man, no. Mm. Yeah, you got to. Yeah. Holy cow. Yeah. I was out fishing today with some folks, and my son was on a boat, and we were actually getting ready to go in because we had been when we got out there, it was very calm, and as the people made their way to the lake, we had the pontoons and the jet skis and the wake boats, and we're taking on water, but yeah, it was just my son was casting out a couple times, so I said I'll cast out a few more, and then that was my fifth fish of the morning of the day because they were biting pretty good, and that was just that was a beast. We got him on. My son he does a great job with the net, but it was tucked away because I have a policy that you never take the net out, because if the net is out, you'll never use it. So it's tucked away. So it's bad luck. So he's throwing stuff. If there's a video on there too, I mean, you can see there's just stuff everywhere on the boat because he's trying to clear everything off the deck so that he can open up the compartment and get the net. He gets it. We bring it in, and it's just crazy. So it was the first one. That was the biggest one I've caught in a couple of years, and I've had. I don't know if other people have had this as well, but fishing has been tough this year. The water temperature got real high because it got so hot, and so, or maybe I'm just a bad fisherman. That's certainly possible too. Well, that was the one from a couple of years ago. But yes, I did take a picture because, yeah, my daughter and I, who also loves to fish, we had a contest going this year that the biggest fish of the summer gets to go to, we go to get ice cream, and then that person gets the bigger one. So she was on the board. She had the bigger fish all summer long at about, I think she caught a 4-pounder earlier. And then I went out and caught that one today. So I had to document it because she said, I don't believe you. So I took a picture. So I had to have the documentation. It was nice and relaxed. I'll tell you, it was a beautiful day on the water. It was warm. It was the water. It was just great. Yeah, I had to make sure that we got to have the proof. So there's the proof. It was good. It was a nice day out there. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah. I don't think so, because ultimately baseball is different. As you said, it's different than other sports. When you draft someone in football or hockey or basketball, you're going to see them in more than likely a year or two. Hockey, maybe 3 or 4. But baseball, you draft guys that you might not see for 5 years or 6 years because they might go back to college or they might go to A-ball and work their way up. So tanking, every now and then there's a player that's worth it. And I don't know all of the players that are available, that might be. But to me, baseball tanking, it's just not there. It doesn't do it. Honestly, the best way to do it, and I've talked about this, I think with Dan last time, is what they did, which is burning it all down and starting over again. And that's what they did. You get prospects, you get new guys, you build, you free some salary, and you start over. And I know that people had a big, it's very scary. They're ripping everything down. What are they doing? This is how franchises get better in baseball. We don't ever see it, but that is the way. Baseball, it's never tanking for 1 or 2 guys. Because one, you just never know what a guy's going to be like in baseball. You have no idea. You're drafting him at 18. You might not see him again until he's 24. There's a huge gap in what happens. You do it by freeing up assets and then going to get prospects that are already developed a bit. And so, no, I'm not in favor of tanking. I'm in favor of exactly what the Twins did this year. And maybe I'm alone, but I'm in favor of exactly what they did. Get rid of the high-paying guys. Keep a couple over because you've got to have the players, the Buxtons and the Royce Lewises to keep you afloat, but you burn it down and you start again with some better prospects, which is exactly what they've done. Mm-hmm. Yeah. I was just going to say, he's quietly put together an outstanding year, and maybe even more important, a healthy year. For the most part, he's been pretty healthy. And this is great because he's still young enough to this is a good point in his career. And so, yeah, quietly, he's putting together a phenomenal season, both in terms of hitting and stealing bases. And so, I mean, maybe with the pressure up, yeah. He stole third for the first time ever the other night. So, yeah. Yep. Yeah. Yeah. Which is something because the Twins are known for small ball. I mean, that's just kind of always been the way that they do it. And you think a guy like him could maybe steal third at some point, but I suppose you got to be on the field and to steal the base. So. Yeah.
Dave, may I share something with you?
Well done, Lindsay. Well done. Look at that.
Bobby left me and he left me a note.
Yeah. No, I love it. I do. Yeah. Well, but you have the reason it's there is because you have two young QBs, right? Caleb Williams did not have a great year last year. Everybody wants to see what JJ McCarthy has, and so it's a prime time matchup for Week 1 when you don't have any idea what teams are going to be and you don't know you don't have records yet. You pick compelling storylines, and that's unless the Steelers were playing the Packers, and that one I could see them putting that one on Monday night. But I think it's exciting. Yeah. Yes, and I'll stand by this until I'm proved wrong, and certainly I could be proved wrong. But the idea that JJ McCarthy, and I said this last year, that I was not ready to throw him right in yet because he needed some time to learn the game. And quarterbacks that sit a year before they start statistically play so much better. And the injury was terrible to him last year, and it stinks that he didn't get to play a year. But he got the opportunity to sit and learn and study with Kevin O'Connell and learn from Sam Darnold. And I really do believe that will end up being better for him in the long run this year. Mighty Buffalo. Yeah. Well, they can still run the football, and that's always going to be the most important thing in the Big Ten. Darius Taylor at 142 yards. I thought Drake Lindsay was outstanding. I've been excited to watch him play for 2 years, and he lived up to the billing. I mean, he was poised. He throws the ball well. He has no fear. He's strong, makes good decisions, and I think that he's going to be a really good quarterback for some time to come. Yeah. Well, everyone knows that my quarterback predictions aren't great. So, I mean, I don't know if that's worth anything or not. I do like the Black Keys. Yeah, they're good. A great concert venue. Ooh. Oh, we don't get to pick them? Okay. Just like, congratulations, you're going. And you got to take us. Yeah. It'll be fun. But it still work. It's hard. You put a lot of heart into this. So you're wearing a nice shirt. You got with it. See you, buddy.
holiday travel challenge.
The TSA lines here are terrible.